Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So it is now the 14th of September. I have some huge updates I need to tell you all, and I have definitely been missing in action for quite a long time. I'm awfully sorry. Hopefully this is now me back and I'm trying to get in some sort of routine over it. It's been quite an interesting journey since my last video, and I definitely need to properly update you all. In a nutshell, I had to pull out my comp 6 weeks before, so 6 weeks out I had to pull out. It was not my decision, it was a joint decision between my coach and my sports massage therapist. Essentially, I'd have quite bad hypermobility and my joints could no longer support themselves, especially my shoulders. My shoulders just had zero stability, and essentially said if I carried on for the next 6 weeks, I would cause permanent damage. So it came a decision of, do I just do one show and not compete again because of potential damage, or do I just not compete this year, potentially compete next year and have a good old career in bodybuilding? So the decision was made and we've just had to deal with it. I did have to do a photo shoot. I've got so much to tell you, but yes. So I need to go and get ready for the day. I need to have a bit of a clear up around the house. I do have my candles on and my reed diffuser. Feeling very autumnal today. I'm absolutely buzzing for autumn and Christmas, I have to say. It's definitely my season. I'm ready for the cold weather. I'm so bored of the heat. So luckily we are coming into the winter season. Me and my mum are actually going to go get breakfast this morning and she will be coming in about an hour, so I absolutely need to go and get ready. I thought I'd do a quick time lapse of putting my washing away and getting some bits and pieces together. So that's the living room sorted out for now, to the best of its ability, essentially. I don't always do a big deep clean. I definitely should start some sort of routine. I know I should, but it's had a general quick tidy round and I think it looks really cute and autumnal. We are desperate to add in some, like, I don't know what you call it, like more decor, bits and pieces, just to make it a bit more homely. We definitely feel like at home. We've obviously had the flat for nearly a year now, but we just want to add a few extra bits and pieces. I think you're always going to feel like that, aren't you? But a few new bits and pieces would be really nice. We also still need to get the pictures on the wall because they are all bare. But let me give you a quick let me give you a quick span of the living room, and then I've got to quickly go tidy my bedroom because it is a mess before Chris kills me. And then I need to get ready very quickly because I've left myself like no time. So that's the general tidy round done, and I'm now going to do my makeup to get ready. So I'm sitting in a bit of a weird position on the floor with the sofa behind me with my mirror in front of me. So this is going to be really irritating because I'm going to keep looking over here in my mirror while trying to chat to you as well. So this will be interesting. I'm just using a toner. Where is it? No, cleanser. Useless at skincare. I just do the very basics, very bare minimum. But yes, I thought we'd chat through the update that we just need to do. So about 4 weeks ago, I obviously had to pull out at 6 weeks out. I was supposed to be competing on the 25th of September in Bikini Juniors. Obviously was not the ideal result. I just had a sports massage one day, and basically that sports massage was probably one of the worst sports massages in my life. Not to be dramatic or anything, but basically My body was in quite a state. It was very, very, very uncomfortable to even lay down. I have to say, for quite a while, how long? I don't know. For quite a long time, I woke up in just pain every day. My body was just in agony. But because I wanted to compete, I kind of just brushed it off and acted like it wasn't happening. And I didn't really say much to like my coach or my partner. Just because I wanted to keep going, and I'm stubborn, so I didn't want many people to know. But yes, basically I woke up in a lot of pain a lot of the time. My joints were just unable to support themselves, essentially. My main problem were my shoulders, which is really irritating. They need more rear delt muscle. In fact, she said we had a massage before, probably about 3 to 4 weeks before that. I think 4 weeks. And she did voice her concerns, but she said, you know, let's just see how things go for now. You know, she thought we'd be okay. So just keep an eye on it, essentially, which is what we essentially did. And she was like, you need to grow your rear delts to hold your shoulders in. So we were like, right, rear delts, let's go. Let's add in some rear delt exercises. Let's try and build them up. And in that massage, it ended up being that my rear delts were essentially like taking over. They were then dominating, and a lot of essentially my back, all the muscle groups were trying to join together and do the work. So my rear delts were like pulling my shoulders this way, my lats were pulling them down. My scaps were starting to really wing badly again. My shoulders couldn't hold the position, so they started to round forwards. You name it, it probably happened, and it was probably one of the most aggravating experiences. And at that point, in that massage, she said, I'm seriously concerned about you continuing, you know, and all the rest of it, blah, 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 essentially. So I went to coach straight after my massage and said that, and she pretty much told me to pull out. She said it's not worth it, not worth risking injury, which I know deep down it's not, because I want a nice career, a long career in bodybuilding. So it wasn't worth it, definitely not. But at that time, oh, it was absolutely soul destroying. It absolutely destroyed me. I have to say, it did destroy me, just to be cheerful on this Wednesday. No, but it did upset me quite a lot. I've been working my ass off to get into the position I had been in. And unfortunately, you know, things happen, life happens, life gets in the way, and we just don't have the control. I'm going to do this bit off camera because it's probably really weird watching me scrape out the last drop of my foundation. Right, I'm back. It's a look. But yes, so from that point, I gave myself a few days to essentially wallow in self-pity. And I spent a couple of days still in prep. So I think it was a Wednesday. I can't quite remember. I think it was a Wednesday. Something like that. At the beginning of the week, basically, I had my massage and I was still in prep for the next few days. I think it might have been Monday, actually. I was still in prep for the next few days. We didn't really know, you know, it was quite a shock, essentially. Well, you know, it wasn't planned, basically. And then I was like, right, I at least need to make the most of this. So I booked in a shoot with my boyfriend's sister's husband, and we did a shoot at the gym, and that was honestly like the best thing I've ever done, and also the hardest thing, because it was like rubbing salt into a wound that I had to have a photo shoot rather than stepping on stage. But now I've got my pictures back, I honestly couldn't be happier. And I actually feel a little bit an ounce of like, I feel a bit proud over the pictures I do have and the condition I was in. Anyway, so that Sunday we had booked a shoot in, so I stayed in prep for that next week, essentially from, I think it was Monday I had the massage to Sunday. I stayed in prep. So the next day, after being obviously told couldn't compete, after pulling out, I cut out cardio. So we cut out cardio. That was the main difference, if I'm honest. Like, I still stuck to my food plan. We didn't have any off plan. I had no snacks, no treats, nothing like that. To be honest, I was in a bit of a weird mindset. And in my heart, I still wanted to compete. So I think it sort of tricked my mind that, you know, we still need to stay on track. But after my photo shoot, which went really well, got some cool pictures I'll insert. But after the shoot, I had my first off-plan meal that week, and it was just the basic. It was pretty much just salmon and potatoes because I just wanted to eat natural. I really wasn't feeling anything greasy. Again, I think I was still clinging on hope that I could compete. I knew I couldn't, and there's also nothing wrong with not going and shoving your face full of McDonald's. Like, a lot of people, I think, on socials quite often think that it's the best thing to do, like give in to your cravings. But for me, I have had binging tendencies quite a few years ago, and I just knew if I had a bite of a chocolate bar, it was just going to set me off again. So I kept in control, and it was really good. Then I think the following week or the week after, we went out for a Brewdog burger and wings, which was just the most incredible evening. So yes, long story short, essentially what happened. Now I am 4 weeks into my reverse diet. I have not binged, I've not snacked, nothing really, to be honest. I've had an off-plan meal a week. Actually today, obviously, I'm going for breakfast, which is I'm absolutely buzzed for. For some reason, I've just got a craving for like that full English fry up. So I think I'll be having that today, although I could definitely change my mind because all their food looks absolutely incredible. And then I think it's next week or the week after, we're going to book in another Brewdog. But yeah, it's definitely a journey. Definitely a journey we're going through. It's still a process. I'm in my reverse diet. I'm trying to nail my reverse because that is going to make such a massive difference in my off season. If I can get my body into the best position possible now, when it comes to actually growing and sustaining and, you know, building up, I'll be in such a good position, and I'm actually quite excited to start growing properly now. I've definitely filled out quite a lot, but I'm excited to grow. And obviously now we've done a prep. It's good we've done a prep because we know what I need to work on. As soon as you start to diet down, everything starts to show, and what needs improvement. So we know what needs to happen. Meg, my coach, was actually incredible. Obviously massive support. And then a couple of days afterwards, I think maybe it was like the week, maybe after the shoot, I just messaged her, day after shoot, and I was just like I'm struggling. I'm probably going to start eating everything in sight, and I'm starting to feel a bit shitty, basically. Obviously, I felt really shitty that week, but it was starting to get quite heavy. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to train. Obviously, I wanted to get in the gym, but when I was in the gym, I just didn't know what I wanted to do, and it was getting quite hard to do the same plan. So she flipped everything on its head, giving me a completely new training plan, a completely new food plan, and ever since then it's been going really well. She's gradually increased my calories each week. In fact, I'm nearly back at my 3,000, which I was in peak off season. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a really fun off season. I can't wait to see what I can actually eat and how much I can grow. So yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess. But the goal at the moment, nail the rest of the reverse, absolutely grow massive in off season. There is a potential comeback next year. That is all I'm saying at the moment because we are not sure. I'm taking it day by day, week by week, month by month, and that is all I've got to say on that front. We are buzzed for Christmas. We can't wait for Christmas. After Christmas, yeah, we just want to completely relax over Christmas, to be honest, obviously. But yeah, that has essentially been my life and why I've been missing in action. And I do remember the next day after we'd had to pull out, I had to pull out, but I had support around me. But the day after, my body, so that night of the massage, just to top everything off, my body went into overdrive. My body reacts quite intensely to massages, especially the sports massages. So that night, I actually really struggled in my sleep. There was not one position I could get comfortable in, not one. It was so uncomfortable. The pain was intense. That was probably the most pain I'd been in for quite a long time. And I just had to keep tossing and turning, trying to find a comfortable position. And then it got to the point in the night where I kept waking up pretty much just every half an hour, which drove me nuts. And I also felt really sick. So I literally slept with, sorry, this is a bit too much information, but I did quite literally sleep with a sick bucket next to me just in case. I just felt dizzy. It was an absolute nightmare. So that was a nice little bonus to that day. And then the next day, I was obviously not in a good mood, but I still wanted to go in gym because the gym has always been my therapy, which is why I've got into bodybuilding, because I love it a bit too much. So the next day we went to the gym. Obviously shouldn't have trained, but I had to for my own mental health. We did I did a really, really light upper. If you look at the machines, the lightest weight possible is what I did on everything. And I just worked on scap control. Essentially my scaps had no control, my shoulders had no stability. I called it a slip and slide because it was such a pain in the ass. But I did train my boyfriend that day. Obviously we're both PTs and both coaches. So he definitely helped a lot in that session to try and get me some control back. It was probably one of the most painful sessions I've ever done. I can't explain the pain. There wasn't an injury, but it was very, very painful. But I felt so much better once I'd done it. So, moral of the story, just get big. Just get big. Don't even think about a diet, just get big. Get big, get strong, and then smash it. I'm very sorry, this is probably the longest video I've ever done. It's quite a long story, but I felt like you guys need to be updated. Thank you so much for watching as usual, and hopefully I am now back to proper videos. Please leave any suggestions of videos down below, and I will make sure to crack on with those.